I really just want to talk to him and check up on him, because when I was young, I would just come up to him and just talk to him. I know COVID has taken a lot of life, and one of that life is including my dad. When that happened, I was here, and my dad was back home in Indonesia. My mom called me and said that Papa is not feeling well. He lost an appetite. He lost the sense of smell and the sense of taste. COVID is everywhere. Even if you go to the hospital, you're not gonna be seen right away, because that's what happened with my dad. So after a few days at home, he lost an appetite. He felt so weak. So finally, he's like, I want to go to the hospital. I want to go to the hospital. But when you went to the hospital because of COVID, no one can be with you, right? So my dad got hospitalized for like a week. But I feel like the COVID was already severe, because once he got to the hospital, it's not like he got to be treated right away. And by that time, I think his oxygen level was already low, and the COVID has already spread, I think, already to the brain. It was only like 5 days, and he passed away right after that. So it was very sudden. But before that, my mom was telling me, after being admitted, I always think that in the back of my head, he always make it. My dad had almost died 2 times in his life before. First one, he had a motorbike accident when he was 17 years old. Broke his leg. He had like a year rehabilitation to be able to walk. He's able to make it. He had a kidney stone removal, and he fell. After the surgery, you're supposed to be recovered. Of course, my dad's like, no, I can do everything. And he was to stand up, and he fell. And of course, he has a bleeding that cannot be stopped. But thankfully, he regained his consciousness, so he was back with us. When my dad was hospitalized, I was like, no, he would make it, because my dad is strong. He's fine. So that's what I kept telling myself. But then that last day, my mom was telling me, Sally, Papa has gone, but the doctor were able to bring him back. And I'm like, okay, that's good. After that, long story short, my mom were like calling me again. This was on Sabbath noon, around 12 o'clock, and telling me that, oh, Papa is gone. And I'm like, how in the world Papa is gone? I thought he was gone and then he's back. Now he's literally gone. And my mom was like, yeah, Papa is gone forever. That's when I cried, because I don't think I had the closure. We only did FaceTime once, because it was so hard to get him to the phone, and no one is there taking care of him. So it was very difficult for me, because I feel like I'm here by myself. I want to go back home, but the rule in Indonesia was, after you pass away from COVID, he has to be buried or burned within 4 hours after you pass. And I told my mom, I want to go home. My mom was like, what are you going to do once you got here? Because we already cremated him. We already have the processor, and it's going to be done. So we did the memorial service through Zoom. We had like a lot of it from different churches and different people messaging me and telling me the goodness and kindness of what my dad did. My dad would always love to build churches or donate to hospital or donate to making schools in the rural areas. Even a few of my friends that I didn't even know, it's like, Sally, you don't know how good your dad is, because if it wasn't for your dad, I wouldn't be a dentist, I wouldn't be a doctor. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't know all these things that my dad did that helps me wants to do more, like more ministry. When I was young, I would just come up to him and just talk to him. I really just want to talk to him and check up on him, because after he passed, I found all this, memory that I had in the back of my head that I actually do a lot of things with my dad. I do a lot of things with my dad. When we walk together in the park or in the store, he would just hold my hand randomly. And I think that's very nice. After that memorial service and talking to my mom and my siblings, I feel like I cannot be selfish in terms of, I know I'm not the only one who miss him. A lot of people from church, a lot of my friends love him as well. And I know that God really loved him, and I don't know what the pain my dad had to endure before, but since he is already gone, it's comforting to know that my dad doesn't have to suffer anymore, doesn't have to live in pain, knowing that he can rest, and when Jesus come again, I'm able to meet him again. I'm work in progress every day. Cry if you want to, cry. It helps to go through the process. But after that, I would pray to God to give me strength. It's gonna get better. It's not you've forgotten about it. It's just you're able to remember him or her. Remember the good things, not just the bad things. Even the bad things become the very good thing. I am Sally Gonzaga, and this is my story.
I'm Pastor Tara Van Cross, and we're so glad that you've tuned into our Azure Hills Church YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe, and click on the bell so that you'll be notified every time we share new videos. We are so glad that you're here. Until next time, please know that we're praying for you as you continue to be a voice of hope.